Book to load. Some reason. There are days. Hello, everybody. We're on. All right. So, today I'm just going to make a couple things that I need. They're simple. I am going to make a homemade condensed milk. And the only reason I don't want to have to go to the store, so I'm going to make it homemade, y'all. So it's a pretty simple recipe. I need to get a half a cup of hot water. So I'm going to get a, hello everybody, a measuring cup. So I'm going to fill this up with a half of a cup of water, and I'm going to put it in the microwave. Okay. Hello, WM Phillips. How are you guys? So I'm only going to make a few things today, and that's only because I just got back from doing my haul at Sam's Club. I was almost out of flour, almost out of sugar, so I had to go get my 25-pound bags of stuff. Hi Denise, good morning everybody. So I'm making a homemade condensed milk because I need some condensed milk and I want to use it for a recipe. So I'm going to let it set up overnight in the fridge, and so that's what we're going to make. Let me get a bowl. Alright, so we are going to need 3/4 cup of powdered milk. 3/4 cups of powdered milk, everybody. Hi, HCP cats. 3/4 cups of powdered milk. That's a half. I miss my old measuring cups. They had everything. Now I got to get some that has. I don't like these ones. And we need 3/4 cups of sugar as well. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I was almost out of sugar. Hi, Jackie. You don't know how much ingredients you go through until you start cooking every day, man. I'll tell you. Okay, so that's a half. And this is a 4, so we're doing 3/4 again. I'm gonna have to go shopping on Amazon, y'all. I'm gonna have to go shopping. Okay, we're just gonna whisk that up. I'm gonna whisk that up. We are making homemade condensed milk. Hi, Linda. How are you? Homemade condensed milk. I forgot to get my, hi Joyce, I forgot to get my, let me get my vanilla. I forgot my vanilla. I have been busy this morning, y'all. I got up at 6. We went to the gym. Now, I don't do much at the gym. I only do a few things. My husband's the one that goes to the gym. I'm having trouble with my legs, so I rode the exercise bike. Hello, everybody. Hi, Joyce. And so we went to the gym. I had to go to the bank. I had to go to another store. And then I went to Sam's Club for a haul. And my son's at Costco's for the other part of the haul. So, alright, let me see if this water's hot enough. Yep. So I put the water in for 1 minute, guys. Hi, Frankie. Hi, Encourage. How are you? So we got 3/4 cups of powdered milk, 3/4 cups of sugar, and a half a cup of hot water. Okay, guys? half a cup of hot water, and we're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla. And you know I always say a little extra for goodness, so we're going to give like maybe a half, okay? And I'm going to start whisking this. It already smells like sweetened condensed milk, y'all. If I had smell-o-vision, how simple, right? How simple to make sweetened condensed milk. Most people would have these ingredients in their kitchen. Well, I don't know about the powdered milk. I always have powdered milk, but that's because I bake. So it smells wonderful, y'all. Now, if you don't need one of these, but I'm gonna use my little mixer here. I should have got out my big one, but this will be all right. I just want to make sure I don't have any lumpy lumpies. Good morning, Zelmer. We're just making a few items that I need. Okay. Shall we give it a taste, a finger taste? OMG, it tastes just like it, y'all. Just like it. Okay, so these are my peach jars. I saved them. So let me get my little. Now I want you to look at this. It has the color. Can you guys see that? Well, maybe you'll be able to see it when I pour it in. It has the Hello Princess Lulu. Hi Bam Bam Girl. It has the distinct color of sweetened condensed milk. The distinct color of it. It's not as thick yet, but remember, this is going into the refrigerator to sit overnight, okay? Hello, daddies. Okay, guys, there it is. Your sweetened condensed milk. This makes a lot more than, this is more than 12 ounces. I should have measured it. I can do that real quick. This is 8. Let me measure this so I can tell you how much it makes. Let me measure it. That's 8. I'm just going back and forth. It might be 12. I'm just going to go back and forth. It is 12 ounces, y'all. It's 12 ounces. So, if you're making a recipe and it calls for a 12-ounce can, that's exactly what you're getting if you make it homemade. That's exactly what you're getting if you're making it homemade, okay? Now, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and I'm going to let this puppy sit up overnight, and when tomorrow when I come on to do a recipe, I will show y'all what it looks like. Now, don't get rid of your jars, guys. Recycle them. Hi, Ronnie G. So there it is. And like I said, it's not thick enough yet, but it will thicken up. You just got to leave it. And as for taste, it tastes just like it right now. So there you have it. You need 3/4 cups of powdered milk, 3/4 cups of sugar. Now, I am a diabetic. You guys can substitute this sugar out, which I have done for me. You can use the monk fruit or whatever else. I like the monk fruit because it's equal. You don't have to subtract, add, any of that. It's equal, equal. So if you want to make it sugar-free, 3/4 cups of powdered milk, 3/4 cups of monk fruit instead of real sugar, and then 1/2 cup of your hot water, and a teaspoon with a little extra, for goodness, of your vanilla. So there's this. We're going to put this in the fridge, and then we're going to make one other thing that I need. Hi, Jen. How are you? I'm going to put this in the fridge. So this is our homemade sweetened condensed milk. I was going to make some homemade cocoa syrup. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Rocky. I don't know how to say that, but hello, good morning. I was going to make some cocoa homemade chocolate syrup, but I am out of cocoa powder, so. And I text my son, but he already left. Let me rinse this off. He already left Costco. All right. So our next one is, you need 3/4 cups of whole milk. Okay, we're making like a whipping cream, but it's not like the whipping cream that you would make. It's good for coffee creamers. It's allulose sugar would work too great. Yes, it would. You're absolutely right, darling. So if you're a diabetic and you want to make it sugar-free, choose allulose, monk fruit, one of those ones that's like equal, so you're not having to switch in and out. And that goes for any of these recipes. When I do my homemade syrup on here, you can also do that too. All right, so for this one, we are going to need 3/4 cups of whole milk and 1/4 of a cup of melted butter. And that is it. So let me get this. Let me get my milk. Now, I melted this butter before I came on so it wouldn't be super hot, y'all. Hi, Queen Bee. So you need 3/4 cups of milk. Whole milk. Usually I say you can waver, but you really need a whole milk for this one. This is good for like I said, for coffee creamers. It's not going to whip up like real whipping cream. It's not. Heavy whipping cream has a lot of additives in it, y'all. It's not going to whip up like real whipping cream. I mean, we can surely give it a try, but I don't think it's going to work, okay? All right. So I already melted, and you cannot use margarine. It has to be real butter, y'all. That's one thing on here. This has to be real butter. You cannot waver from that. You cannot waver from that, okay? So I'm going to start my little whiskey thing. Try to do it a little at a time. Oh, shoot. I'm making a mess. Okay. Well, we got some on the counter. It's all right. Now, I don't know if I'm right or if I'm wrong, but you just want to stir this in. And I say it's not going to be like, we're going to see if it'll work. Hi, Pam. I always say, I will try anything once. And if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Okay. Now let me see here. So that's what it kind of looks like. It's a little frothy. It's a little frothy. And I think I did something wrong. I was supposed to warm up my milk, y'all. So now I have butter chunks in here. I have butter chunks. Well, that's not going to work. I'm like, why do I have butter chunks? It's not, I forgot to put it in the microwave. You have to warm your milk a little. Not hot, but warm it. Like a warm milk. Goodness gracious. So I put it on 30 seconds. I put it on 30 seconds. You can see the butter melting. All right, that's better. Okay. Now, I'm just going to see if this works. I don't want to whisk all this, but I am just curious. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. Actually, I'm going to get a different mix. Okay, so warm your milk to 30 seconds, guys, before you put your butter in it, okay? Don't do what I did. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of this in here. Can you see it as I'm pouring it? I'm just going to put a little bit in there. And I'm just going to put a little bit of vanilla in here. I just want to see if it will whisk up. And I'm going to get some sugar. I'm going to put, so I have 1/4 of a cup in there. So I'm going to put a half a teaspoon, we'll do a teaspoon. We're going to do a teaspoon of sugar and see what we get. We're just going to see what we get, guys. See, this is good for like a coffee creamer, but I don't think it's going to, it's not going to froth up like whipping cream. Oh, you know what? It's working. Holy Toledo. Let's just keep going. I should have got my big mixer out. My big hand mixer. It's starting to do something in there. I'll be doggone. Look at that. It is actually working. It's not as thick as a OMG. It's not as thick as a regular high sunshine. It's not as thick as, you know what? I'm going to get out my hand mixer and I'm going to put this on and see what it does. And just play around for a minute. I'm going to see what it does because I am like curious. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here, guys. And actually, I think it needs a little bit more. Dina. Hi, Rosalind. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. It's definitely not going to cream up like, that's what we got. So it's only doing a partial bit. So it doesn't, it's good for a coffee creamer, but not like, it's not like real whipped cream. However, this part here tastes just like whipped cream, but it's not whipping it up all of it. So I would say a coffee creamer, and that's what I'm going to use it for. So a coffee creamer, but that actually, I think if you kept whipping this, I don't know. It's very velvety, but it still tastes like it's not sweet enough. So maybe more sugar, but definitely for a coffee creamer, spot on. Hi, baby girl. Making homemade coffee creamer. Yep, that's what we're doing. So I would say it needs more vanilla. Well, let's see. What kind of coffee creamer would I like? I am a chocolate mint person. Remember I told you I use a lot of skinnies. Okay, guys, we're going to make this one. So we're going to do a thin mint coffee creamer. That's what we're going to do. Thin mint coffee creamer. So I'm going to pour in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do 5 of those. That's sugar free, and I'm going to add this back into here. I'm going to stir this up. I'm going to stir that up. And I'm going to put another 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay. And now we're going to taste it. Yum. So, I think I might add one more. So we're going to have 6 of the thin mints. 6 thin mints, sugar-free. We got 3/4 cups of whole milk and 1/4 of a cup of melted butter, guys. And some of it is still, it'll loosen up once I put it in the refrigerator. And I'll just shake it up every morning. And I'll have coffee creamer. Sounds good to me. Actually, I'm drinking chocolate right now. Chocolate. And put some mint in it. We'll give it a stir. Okay, so that's that. So you have your sweetened condensed milk. We'll pull it back out so you guys can see it. Let me get it. Where did I put it? Okay, so here's our sweetened condensed milk that we made. Good morning, Joe. This was 3/4 cups of powdered milk, 3/4 cups of sugar. If you want to make it sugar-free, you can use the allulose or the monk fruit, and a 1/2 cup of hot water, and 1 teaspoon with a little extra for goodness on your vanilla. This has been in the refrigerator not very long, and it's starting to thicken up, guys. It's starting to thicken up. So that's your homemade sweetened condensed milk. And this is your homemade coffee creamer. 3/4 cups of milk, 1/4 of a cup of melted butter, and then add in what you want to make it your flavor. If you just want it vanilla, just add some vanilla to it. If you want a flavoring, add your flavors to it. And put it in a container, and you'll have homemade creamer. Let me get a container here. Oh, let's see. I thought I had some jars. Well, I have to get a jar. I don't know where they're all at. They're probably in my utility room. Anyhow, that's what we made today, guys. We made the coffee creamer, and we made the sweetened condensed milk. Try this. It's a savings, and it's very good. Put it in the refrigerator overnight. Tomorrow when I get on here, I'll open this up, and I'll show you what it looks like after sitting in the fridge for a day. And then this creamer, it's good. Now, if you want like a brown sugar, like a vanilla brown sugar creamer, add some brown sugar and some, you can, if you just want to use this vanilla, but you can use the French vanilla skinny syrups. These come in all different flavors, guys. So if you just want to make a creamer, and I put 6 pumps in, 6 pours, and you can make it whatever flavor you want. If you don't have any creamer in the house, you can just whip it up and do it that way. So, all right, guys. Well, I will see you all tomorrow, and I'm not sure what I'm going to get on here and do tomorrow, but when I do come back on, I'll show you what this looks like, and maybe we'll just make something with this tomorrow. So I will talk to you guys later. Like, follow, and share, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye, guys.